in the so good afternoon to everyone. In the last day, I already introduced about the Zener diode and avalanche breakdown, and how does the Zener diode acts as a voltage regulator. We already introduced in the last day discussion, and you also solve some numerical on the basis of the Zener diode. Is there any query or any if you have any query, you can direct ask to me in this platform. The last day session for the Zener, how does the Zener acts as a voltage regulator, and what is the knee voltage, and how does the Zener can operate in the regulation mode, we already discussed in the last day. So today we will introduce about the diode circuit. Diode circuit, when we introduce the diode circuit, it is basically reflect for the rectification. So in that case, when we consider a rectification, it is convert from AC current or voltage, AC current or voltage, AC to DC current or voltage. So by using this rectification, we will introduce, it is a one type of, by using a one type of electrical device which is denoted by the diode circuit, we can convert from the AC current or voltage to DC current or voltage. So for that case, if we introduce, before that, if you introduce the dynamic characteristics of a diode, just simply draw the circuit. This is diode D, this is V, and this voltage is denoted as VA. This voltage across this diode is denoted as VA. The supply voltage denoted as V, and VL is the load voltage, and RL is the load resistance. If we introduce the RL, the load resistance, and VL is the load voltage. So if we have, and IA is the forward current. Now if we apply the KVL in the loop, then what's happened? That is V equal to VA plus IA into RL. So what is VA and IA? VA is the voltage, diode voltage, and IA is the diode current, forward current. Diode forward current. What is the diode forward current? I already introduced in the last day. So VA is the diode forward voltage and IA is the diode forward current. So now if we want to plot the load line, that is DC load line from these DC characteristics, so it is the one type of, if VA and IA is the variable, then it is the one form of the straight line equation. This formation is the straight line equation. So if we will just rearrange this straight line equation in the intersecting form, then we can write that is equal to 1. So VA by V plus IA divided by V by RL, that is equal to 1. So it is the formation of the straight line, that is X by A plus Y by B, that is equal to 1, where A and B corresponding intersecting part in the x-axis and y-axis respectively. So if we draw the line over here, this is IA, this is VA, so this is V0, this coordinate, this is V0, and this is considered as 0, V by RL, then it is the one type of DC load line. Am I clear? So how does the DC load line is formed? From this equation of the KVL, if we apply over this diode, So in that case, KVL, that is V equal to VA plus IA into RL, VA by V plus IA RL by V, that is equal to 1. So from here we can denote this plot of this load line, that is V by RL, 0 comma V by RL and 0 comma V. Can you define what is the slope of this straight line? Anyone, can you tell me what is the slope of the straight line?
Sir, y is equal to mx.
Y is equal to mx plus c. That is, m is the slope of the straight line and c is the intersecting point amount from the y-axis. Now, so okay, from that equation, can you compare and can you tell me what is the slope of this DC load line? Compare that equation of the straight line using the that formula y is equal to mx plus c. So in that case, what is the slope of this straight line? And definitely c is the v by RL, because this is the y-axis if you consider. So what is the slope? Can you define?
Minus 1 by RL.
Minus
1
right.
by RL.
Right. That is minus 1 by RL is the slope. That means in that case, RL, what is the RL? RL is the load resistance. I already introduced RL is the load resistance. If we change the RL, then the slope of the straight line is changed. So we can vary the RL, that is load resistance, with respect to the input voltage. And when the load resistance is changed, automatically this slope of the straight line is also changed. And in the last day, we also introduced about the diode characteristics. Diode forward current characteristics is this one. So this intersecting point, when we introduce the diode characteristics, that is forward diode current, we are already introduced in the last day. So in that time, I already introduced I equal to Is exponential E V by eta kt. Eta is the dimensionless parameter minus 1. So I equal to Is exponential E V by eta kt minus 1. This is the diode forward current equation, and that equation, if we just consider over here and these characteristics, that intersecting point, this is considered as a Q point or operating point. The intersecting point of characteristic equation and load line is called Q point or operating point. And now, what is the necessity to know the operating point or Q point? Because from this Q point or operating point, we can know or we can determine whether the system is stable or not. And that also depend on the load. That also depend on the load. So in here we consider this is the, suppose A prime is the straight line. So A prime the straight line as load line which will intersect with characteristic equation with operating a particular point. A particular point. Okay, so this is the concept of the operating point. And how does the operating point we can determine by using this type of biasing circuit? We also introduce in the transistor biasing circuit. How does the operating point we can determine, and how does we can change the system into the stable point? That also we will discuss in the biasing. In that case, we will introduce the transistor biasing circuit. We will introduce that operating point. How can we change? But our objective is over here to determine the AC component voltage or current into the DC component voltage or current. So for that case, we will introduce a rectification over here. That is the one type of electrical circuit that converts from a AC signal to DC signal. So for that case, we will first introduce the rectifier, half wave rectifier. For the half wave rectifier, so this is the rectifier circuit, half wave rectifier circuit. Please observe the circuit or please draw the circuit. This is a half wave rectifier circuit, and from here we can take the output, DC output. This is the VDC or V output or VDC. We can take the output as VDC by using the multiplicator, or if we want to if you can added one capacitor over here, then it is the rectified output. You can directly measure from any meter, okay, voltmeter. So for that case, how does this operate? Is it clear, this one? Hello, this circuit is clear? Half wave rectifier circuit is clear to everyone? Hello, there is no response from anyone. Hello, please give me the reply. Half wave rectifier is clear. Now next we will just draw the waveform. So this is the rectified wave, periodic waveform we can deliver. How? So for this case, for the half wave rectifier circuit, in here, when we apply a sinusoidal signal, this is the AC signal we applied over here. This is the one type of transformer, AC transformer over here. This is a step down transformer. We'll introduce over here, step down transformer. And in here we introduce a AC sinusoidal wave for the first positive half cycle. So diode D is the forward bias. So in that case, diode D is the forward bias. So when the diode D is forward bias, then the current is move inside the circuit and we get the output from here. But for the negative half cycle, for the first negative half cycle, the diode D is the reverse bias. So in that case, diode D, when it is the diode D is reverse bias, so it is the open. This is the high impedance state. So it is the open circuit. This diode D is open circuit. So no current can flow inside this diode. So output is 0. So for that case, if we will introduce this waveform, that is for the first positive half cycle, that is from 0 to pi, the diode D is forward bias. So in that case, we can get the rectified output from the load. And for the negative half cycle, pi to 2 pi, diode D is the reverse bias. So output is 0 from pi to 2 pi, 0 to pi, pi to 2 pi, pi to 3 pi, and next from here we just take the output of the signal from V naught. Now if we apply a capacitive filter in the output side, if we add a capacitive filter in the output side, in that case we can get the rectified DC output signal from the output side. If we apply a capacitive filter over here, just observe it is a capacitive filter. If we apply a capacitive filter over here, in parallel condition, you can take the output from the capacitor, that is a DC rectified output. So this is the basically working principle of the half wave rectifier. Very simple. Now if we will introduce the full wave rectifier, so in this is the circuit of full wave rectifier circuit. Please draw the circuit. This is the step down transformer we apply over here, and in here we will apply a center tap transformer. Center tap transformer. Center tap step down. Center tap step down transformer we will already added in here. So this is the center tap. So this is IA1 for this is condition for the diode D1, and this is for the diode D2, and this is the load resistance RL, and this is the output we can collect over here, and same we can apply a capacitive filter, and in that case we get the direct DC output voltage from the load side. Now how does this operate? Please draw the circuit. If we will draw the circuit, then I shall explain again. The drawing is complete. Circuit diagram. This is a full wave rectifier circuit diagram. The diagram is complete. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So I just draw the waveform over here. So this is the waveform of the rectified output. So in the secondary side, if we apply a sinusoidal waveform, this is a sinusoidal waveform. So in the secondary side is the sinusoidal waveform is applied, and this is we can denote it plus V. This is also V. So actually in here we apply the secondary voltage 12. Suppose this is V0V, this one. So same voltage is applied over here. V0V, V not V. Okay, this is a center trap transformer. So in here, when we consider the center trap transformer for IA1, this is IA1. So when it is the first positive half cycle from the time period 0 to pi, which diode is on and which diode is off? D1 is on or off? Can you tell me?
D1 is on.
D1 is on and D2 is off, because D2 is the reverse bias and D1 is the forward bias. So for that case, this interval, the first positive half cycle, it is on. These are on. For the negative half cycle, first negative half cycle, D1 is off and D2 is on. D2 is on state. So when it is on state, so from the second half cycle, from pi to 2 pi, 4 pi to 5 pi, okay, sorry, 3 pi to 4 pi and pi to 2 pi. So these cycles are on state and other state are off for the IA2, and these are IA1. And if we added this to, why it is added? Because if we apply this node, the KCL, the IL equal to IA1 plus IA2. If we apply the KCL in this node, just look at the script. If we apply this KCL in this node, that is IA1 plus IA2 is equal to IL. So load current that is equal to IA1 and IA2. So finally, the result, if we added these two waveform over here, then finally output we get the rectified output. These are full wave rectified output. This is the periodic signal. In this case, all of the harmonics are present entire the cycle. So total rectified output, as if we added these two, in that case we get the all rectified output as a periodic signal. Okay. So this is the brief discussion. This is a load current. This is actually the IL is the load current. Similarly, if we draw the bridge rectifier, so this is the bridge rectifier circuit. So similarly, just draw this one. Is the drawing is complete for the bridge rectifier? Hello? Please draw the bridge rectifier circuit and please intimate me. I just waiting over here. Okay, let's start. So this is the transformer step down. Again, the step down transformer you will apply over here. But for the first positive half cycle, which diode are on? There are 4 diodes are used over here. 4 diode. So which pair of diode is on for the first positive half cycle? First positive half cycle, diode D1 and D3, these two diodes are on, and these two are off. And for first negative half cycle, diode D2 and D4 are on. So for that negative half cycle, that D2 and D4 is on. So for the first positive half cycle, in that case, this is the delivery of the current, like this way. So in that case, same thing is happened. For the first positive half cycle, these odd symmetry are occurred over here. For the first negative half cycle, the even symmetry occurred over here. And when we consider the IL, the load current for the load resistance VO, that is V0, so we get the periodic rectified output over here. We got the periodic rectified output for the bridge rectifier. Now, what is the advantage of the bridge rectifier over the full wave rectifier? It is also one type of full wave rectifier, but what is the advantage of bridge wave rectifier over full wave rectifier? Can you tell me? What is the main advantage? There is no requirement of center tap transformer. One important thing is there is no requirement of the center tap transformer. Only a step down transformer is needed and 4 diode. So it is, if we introduce the economically, it is very cheaper with respect to the full wave rectifier. Next one is the power decimation of the diode D1, D2, D3 and D4 is more consumed with respect to the full wave rectifier. Okay, consume with respect to the full wave rectifier. So this is the main advantage. So, and the peak inverse voltage. Now, what is the peak inverse voltage? I just introduce over here the peak inverse voltage, another new term. Peak inverse voltage, PIV, peak inverse voltage of a diode, that is minimum reverse voltage applied across the diode, that the diode acts without any damage. So minimum reverse voltage applied across the diode, that is diode can act without any damage. So when we design or when we fabricate this type of transformer, in that time you should know what is the peak inverse voltages of diode D1, D2, D3 and D4. Just observe the script. When we introduce the bridge wave rectifier, in that time we will introduce the peak inverse voltage, the respective conjugate diode. Otherwise, this circuit may be break or damaged, severely damaged. Okay, and in that case, we can develop one power supply circuit by using this bridge wave rectifier. By using the several IC, that is power IC, we can introduce as 7805, that is a plus 5 volt, 7905 as a minus 5 volt. So by using this type of circuit, we can develop different type of power supply circuit. Okay, so this is the one basically important parameter for the bridge rectifier. And in here, if we introduce the peak inverse rating of a diode of a bridge rectifier is half than the full wave rectifier. So it is more accepting this type of bridge rectifier circuit over the full wave rectifier. Okay. So time is very low, that is only 5-6 minutes are left. So after this class you can join again. It's the same link. After 15 minutes we will continue the class up to 2 p.m. Okay. So what are the disadvantage of this bridge rectifier? That is, current flows these two diodes in series for the bridge circuit. A large power decimated in the diode. So hence the bridge circuit is not efficient for the low voltages. So when we apply a two diode simultaneously work, so large a series of bridge circuit, a large power is decimated. So it is not basically fruitful for the low voltages. Okay, this is the disadvantage. And next one is in the vacuum diode with directly heated of the cathode are not convenient for the bridge circuit, because the cathodes of the diode do not have much potential. So for that case, for the vacuum diode is directly heated for the cathode, and it is not convenient for the bridge circuit. Okay. So but in here, if we observe the advantage, that is more economically stable with respect to full wave rectifier, because full wave rectifier we need a center tap transformer, but in here there is no need of the center tap transformer. So economically it is most cheaper with respect to the full wave rectifier. And similarly the PIV, that is peak inverse voltage, when we apply the conjugate to diode on at a time to get the rectified output, the peak inverse voltage is half with respect to the full wave rectifier. Okay, it is the main advantage. It is discussed over here. So next class we will introduce some important parameter or performance parameter of the rectification, that is the DC load current, ripple factor, and efficiency of the full wave and half wave rectifier. And there is a derivation, DC load current or voltage, ripple factor, and percentage of the rectification and regulation factor. And on the basis of that we also introduce some numerical problem. Okay, so next class after 15 minutes you just join again. If there is any query, you can give your query on this online platform. Is it clear to everyone? So in here, in this class, we only discuss about the rectification, how does the Q point is delivered, what is the half wave and full wave and bridge rectifier and their corresponding waveforms. Next class, we will discuss the performance parameter of the different rectifier circuits. Within 15 minutes or 12 to 15 minutes, we will join again. Is there any query? You can give a call over here. It is okay. Hello. Please give me the attendance for this today, for this class. Some students are already left, but all
Sir,
the
I have sent you attendance.
Yes.
Sir, I have sent you the
yes,
attendance.
Shivam. Okay, okay. So is it clear to all of you? So can I leave?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. We'll just join again within 12 to 15 minutes. Thank you. Have a nice day.